Hey everybody, and welcome back to Living Large Camping.
We are changing things up a little bit and spending some time at a winery. They have a trail on property, so we're gonna walk that first, and then we're gonna do some tastings, which we are so excited because, like I said, we haven't done it in forever.
We went to a bunch of wineries in Michigan and loved it because they're always beautiful properties. Like this one, they usually have a hike or a trail on site, so we're gonna go ahead and walk that first and then reward ourselves with some wine, and hopefully it's just as pretty as we think it's gonna be.
We hope you guys enjoy.
When I'm walking on a breeze, I got no enemies. I just do what I please. Yes, sir. I ain't got no things, no money, no means. Just a wind in the wind.
One of the reasons that we chose this place to come spend the day is because it's only about 30 minutes from where we've been staying with my mom, and it's really nice because every time that we've gotten in the car in the last little bit, it's been like a 5-hour drive, and we're very tired of driving that far just to go camp for a night or two, so this is what we landed on.
Yes, sir. I got my feet on a cloud and I won't come down. No, I won't come down. I used to bounce on knees, fresh from the
I think this loop showed to be like 2.5 miles, but it kind of zigzags and snakes around itself the whole way, so it's not one big loop, but we keep seeing, you know, all the different parts of this property back here, and parts of it are green and lush, and you can tell that they get a lot more sunlight, and then the rest of it just looks like we're in the middle of winter. There's not a single leaf on the trees. It's still nice kind of walking around through the woods like we were talking about whenever we were at that spot in East Texas a few videos back. We're just enjoying it.
The other reason why we wanted to go on a walk today is because the weather has been extremely nice here in Texas. It's been about sunny and 60, and it is December, so it's pretty surprising. So we're making sure we soak all of that in until it gets pretty cold here. It usually gets 20 or 30s. Sparky's on the loose. So when it comes January, February time, it's pretty cold. If you guys remember, a year ago, it iced over, and Texas has no idea how to deal with that. Loving this amazing weather, and why not go to a winery, you know?
I had a mind at ease. Now I oversee the trees, birds.
Also, we're noticing on the trail that if you aren't interested in having a wine tasting or drinking wine, they have picnic tables, so you could bring your own food and beverages and just hang out and kind of get away from city life, I guess, a little bit. It's pretty nice.
I see everything. I got my feet on a cloud.
Gotta get all the angles.
I saw the eyes of the maker, heard a rushing sound. Caught up in the wheel, going round and round. Spun like gold from a shining ground. I got my feet on a cloud and I won't come down.
What are these?
So we have an app. It's called Picture This. And it'll let you scan trees. See, that makes more
That
sense.
sounds a little bit more accurate.
That makes more sense.
What did I say?
Actually, no clue.
Huh. They're pretty though.
we're actually able to time this adventure a little bit better than we have the last couple of times. It's 3:30 right now. We've got about an hour and a half before the sun drops, so we can actually do some things outside in the light, whereas the last couple times we've pulled into camp, we had to start the video the next morning, just because starting videos at night means that we're going to be in the camper the whole time, and I'm sure it's not very fun to watch, and it's not the most fun to film. But now we've got the adventure in the daytime, and then we get to have a glass of wine, and that's a much better way to do it.
Okay, we just finished the walk. It took us about an hour to walk 2.5 miles. It was gorgeous, and I'm so glad that we did that today. But now we're gonna go back to the camper and change our clothes. The bugs are out, so we want to put on a little bit of layers, and the temperatures are dropping, so time for some sweaters. All right, much better. We're both in pants and a sweater. Now time to try some wine.
Just feels nice to get out of our hiking clothes, and even though we do live in a camper, we can wear a little bit nicer stuff. So let's go have a nice glass of wine.
Honestly, it kind of feels like a little bit of a date night. I'm here for it. Cheers to date night.
Date night. We ended up doing a flight tasting just to figure out what we wanted, but it was one of the deals where you stand there and she pours them individually, and then you drink them and talk about it, and then the next one and the next one. So we thought it was going to be just like a 4th flight, and then we come out here and sit. Either way, we found a red blend that was very tasty, so we bought a bottle to support the local business, and now we get to enjoy it outside and just for the rest of this day.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, we had no idea we were going to do a tasting inside because we wanted to do it with you guys. It's just kind of something fun, and just figuring out what you like and don't like is always something I enjoy. The tasting I did was a little bit of a mix. It was a rosé, a white, and then 2 reds. And I actually really enjoyed the rosé. I'm pretty picky on them, but it was very nice and refreshing. It would be perfect for the summertime. We both enjoyed the red blend because Connor had that in his flight, so that is why we went with that one. We're gonna hang out here, enjoy this beautiful day, and hopefully get a gorgeous sunset in the background.
We can hope. Alright, we have finished our little glass of wine, and where we're actually staying is a harvest host. That way we don't have to leave here, so we don't have to drive anywhere. And we're gonna go back into the camper, make a yummy dinner. I think we've got something shrimp related figured out for tonight, so we will see you in there, and hopefully it turns out good. As you guys know, we have been staying with my mom on and off during the holiday season, and while it is difficult to bounce around camping, it does mean that we get to bring things that we wouldn't normally have with us living full-time on the road, simply because we don't have enough space for them, and one of them is the air fryer. Something that we loved having whenever we lived in a home a few years ago, and it's just nice to be able to use one in the camper now. We are able to run it off of our Goal Zero that runs the whole entire camper, but it does drain the battery pretty quickly, so we wouldn't really use this for living on the road full time. It's great to have for now, and it's gonna make dinner really tasty.
First thing is first, we are going to chop up the veggies. We have broccoli and cauliflower that we're gonna pop into the air fryer, and then we'll get the shrimp going. We're breading it and making coconut rice. Let's get to it.
Veggies are going to go in first, that way we can eat the shrimp while it's hot, and we've yet to use the air fryer in here, so I don't know exactly how much it draws, but we're going to put the veggies in there, and then we'll show you what it looks like.
Yum.
1400 watts is definitely the highest drawing appliance that we have. We've ran the coffee maker here, which is about 1,000, and we've ran the space heater just for fun, which is about 1,000. It's showing that it'll drain our battery in 0.7 hours. Hopefully we can get through this meal. It's got like 50%, and we're headed back tomorrow so we can charge it up later, but I was just really curious to see if it could do it.
Also, if we weren't heading back and we were able to charge something, it is the exact reason why we got the alternator charger, so that if we do stuff like this and we want to cook a fun meal and need to use our air fryer, we can drive the next day, plug it in, and it'll bring our battery up to at least a little bit more to keep us going. So that is something that we knew we needed, and for us to not rely on weather is a huge factor because you never know what you're gonna get, and this one solves all of those problems. It's pretty breaded. Do you want it twice or what?
That's probably fine.
Yeah. That looks so good. First time making it. Fingers crossed.
Back in they go. This is definitely an actually home-cooked meal because we can use real appliances for it. It's something that we would not actually bring with us on the road full-time, at least with our current setup and our current battery powers. We do have the Goal Zero, which is great, and the Jacker, which is awesome, that has been living in the cab of the truck right now, and it's just a lot of power that we don't necessarily need. But whenever we are with family and we can change our setups whenever we leave, it's nice to bring and nice to use for something different. Happy dinner.
This looks incredible. Too hot.
So good, but it's hot.
Taste test. Mmm. A little coconut rice.
Coconut rice is good.
That's pretty good. Yummy.
That meal was really good. Definitely nice to have a change of recipes that we don't make all the time in the camper because it does start to get repetitive at times, and whenever we're walking around the grocery store and nothing looks good, this was a nice change up. It's kind of where we were at, and we were talking about it while we were eating dinner, and I'm just curious to know what unnecessary necessities you bring in the camper. Stuff that you probably shouldn't have, but it makes your camper feel like home. The air fryer would be one for us if we could, but lately it's been the actual electric coffee maker, just because it's nice to wake up and flip a switch and have a fresh pot of coffee. So curious to see what you guys think. We're gonna go ahead and start getting the camper all cleaned up because we had to put our Christmas decorations away so we could use the countertop space, and yeah, this place is kind of a mess.
Alright, good morning guys. This is a little bit different than a winery, as you can tell.
Yeah, we are back. We did take the camper off again, and there's a little bit of a reason as to why, but we hope you guys enjoyed seeing the hike around the winery, and then a little bit of tasting, and that really great shrimp air fryer meal. I'm gonna bring you around back because it's so loud over here. Honestly, it's been pretty difficult. This is probably the 8th or 10th time we've taken this camper off in the last 3 or 4 weeks. And while a truck camper is such a great home and such a great way to travel full time, I have just been feeling burnt out on the loading it up just to go camp for 1 night or 2 nights to make a video, just to come back and take it off. It was starting to get to me, and we decided to take a couple days away from the camera and we're going to take this next week or two off and away with friends and family because it is Christmas and then New Year's. So this video will post towards the end of December, and I promise we have a full slate of adventures planned for 2024, all kinds of wonderful stuff that we hope you guys will enjoy on the channel, and we cannot wait to get into that. But until then, we are just going to enjoy some time away from the camper, at least loading and unloading the camper, and just spend it with our family and our friends. We've been talking about it for the last couple of weeks, and we just want to be transparent with you guys as to what's going on in our life and what we're struggling with. But yeah, it's just one of those things. We're excited to be back in the camper and back sharing all of our adventures with you guys. But thank you for sticking through all these on and off videos and the shorter camping trips. I promise there's great stuff coming. We do have one video in mind about sharing all of the gear that we take with the truck camper for full-time living, and then kind of what our more bare bones camping trip setup looks like. We've had a few comments in the comment section about what we have with us and what people recommend for a truck camper setup. So that's probably the next video you see, and then I promise we'll be back living in the camper full-time. We got all kinds of fun stuff planned.
Like you said, even though it's been hard, we hope we've been a little bit more personal and really showing you guys like who we truly are, and try and be as open as we can, because this is a really difficult time and both of us are getting pretty frustrated with the on and off and just everything that comes with merging all of the lives together. So thank you guys for watching. We love y'all.
Hope you have a large day.
Bye guys. See you next week.